Oh, it's me wearing a cowboy hat with red hair and doing the thumbs up.
Okay.
Before anyone could predict the fame, the awards, and the million-dollar tours, there was a little girl with a microphone and a heart full of dreams. It all began in a small school auditorium during a Christmas program, where the audience was mostly parents and teachers. Yet when she opened her mouth, something magical happened. Every eye turned toward her. Every breath seemed to pause. It wasn't just singing, it was a declaration of destiny. That girl was Reba McEntire. She didn't know it yet, but the world was listening, even if quietly, waiting for the moment when her voice would break into hearts across the nation. Life at home, however, couldn't have been more ordinary or more challenging. The McEntire family lived on a modest ranch in McAlester, Oklahoma, in a small 3-room house with no indoor plumbing. There were no luxuries, no hand-me-downs of fame or fortune, just sheer grit and endless hours of work that started before the sun rose and didn't end until it set. This is where resilience was born. Reba's mother, a woman who had once dreamed of a music career of her own, recognized the spark in her daughter and nurtured it. Long car rides to rodeos became classrooms of harmony, timing, and pitch. Her older brother and sister joined in, forming what would eventually be known as the Singing McEntires, a family act that showcased the raw talent tucked away in Oklahoma's rolling plains. Every note learned on those long drives, every song harmonized in a cramped car, became a stepping stone for what would later define Reba's journey. But life on the ranch was far from easy. Hard work, financial struggles, and the pressure of rural survival intertwined with her music, forging not just a singer, but a fighter, someone determined to rise no matter the obstacles. These early lessons in discipline, dedication, and unyielding spirit would echo in every song she sang, setting the stage for a story that would captivate generations. While other future stars grew up with instruments in their hands and studios in their homes, Reba's childhood was measured in acres, cattle, and sunrise chores. From the age of 6, she was already immersed in the daily rhythm of ranch life, herding cattle, fixing fences, managing livestock, and learning the unforgiving lessons of hard work. These long days were exhausting, yet they instilled in her the kind of determination that no chart or record deal could teach. Life on the McEntire Ranch was as much a training ground as it was a home, demanding physical endurance, mental fortitude, and a commitment to family survival that would carry her through every challenge Nashville would later throw her way. The family's land wasn't just a place to work, it was the foundation of character, of perseverance, of learning to thrive even when circumstances were less than ideal. Amid this hard labor, music became a secret sanctuary. Her mother passed on her love for melodies, rhythms, and harmonies, teaching Reba and her siblings to harmonize during hours-long drives to rodeos. What began as playful singing in the back of a car gradually evolved into serious performances. By the time Reba was a teenager, she and her siblings had formed the Singing McEntires, performing at local fairs, 4-H talent shows, and small community events. These early performances, humble as they were pivotal. They taught Reba how to command attention, evoke emotion, and connect with an audience. Each song honed her instincts for storytelling and expression, planting seeds for the star she would one day become. This mix of rustic upbringing and musical nurture created a unique combination: talent tempered by toil, ambition balanced with resilience. And unbeknownst to her, Reba was preparing for a life where every note, every lyric, and every performance would demand not just skill, but courage. Sometimes careers aren't built in studios, they're forged in moments of chance that leave a lasting imprint. For Reba McEntire, that moment came during the National Finals Rodeo in 1974, where she was invited to sing the national anthem. It seemed routine, just another performance, but the audience contained someone who would alter her trajectory of life. Country singer Red Steagall. From the first note, he recognized the extraordinary quality of her voice, the kind of natural talent that commands attention without pretension. By the end of the anthem, he was certain she had the potential to not just succeed, but redefine country music. After the performance, he approached Reba and her family, offering to guide her journey to Nashville, the heart of the industry where dreams were either realized or quietly extinguished. It was a bold proposition. Leaving behind the ranch, the family, and everything familiar, Reba and her mother faced an uncertain future with nothing but belief in her talent. In March 1975, mother and daughter embarked on the journey that would test every ounce of their resolve. They traveled hundreds of miles to Nashville in a modest car, carrying only the essentials, stepping into a city that thrived on competition, where unknown singers often disappeared without a trace. Their arrival marked the beginning of grueling months: small apartments, odd jobs to cover expenses, endless auditions, and the constant fear of failure. Each day was a balance between hope and despair, yet Reba's voice, pure, powerful, authentic, was the thread that held it all together. That first rodeo performance wasn't just a showcase, it was the spark that lit a flame, one that would guide her through years of struggle, shaping her into the determined, fearless artist she was destined to become. Nashville is a city where dreams are sold and heartbreak is rationed like currency. Reba quickly discovered that talent alone was not enough. Doors opened politely, but often slammed in her face. Record labels were skeptical, producers were demanding, and every rejection threatened to diminish the hope she clung to. Despite her extraordinary voice, she faced years of struggle, performing at small clubs for as little as $50 a night, signing albums that failed to chart, and navigating an industry that wanted her to fit a mold she refused to accept. Mercury Records gave her a contract in 1975, but her initial releases struggled to gain traction. Singles and albums came and went quietly, and the pop-influenced sounds the label pushed felt foreign to her true country roots. The constant tension between artistry and industry expectation began to weigh heavily. Financial pressures compounded the emotional stress, and Reba even considered returning home, abandoning Nashville's harsh landscape for the familiar grounds of her Oklahoma ranch. The stakes were higher than ever. Every song recorded, every performance given, carried the weight of proving herself in a world that didn't yet understand her genius. Yet in these moments of near defeat, Reba's determination deepened. The very struggle that threatened to break her would instead shape her, creating the backbone of a career that demanded authenticity, courage, and unyielding perseverance. She wasn't just fighting for fame, she was fighting for her identity, her voice, and the music she believed in. Years of toil finally converged in a single breakthrough moment. The song "Can't Even Get the Blues" wasn't supposed to be hers. Originally slated for another artist, Reba sensed its potential and insisted on recording it. Producers doubted her, believing her strengths lay in ballads rather than upbeat tracks, but Reba's conviction could not be ignored. The last-minute decision to include it on her album became a turning point, transforming her career overnight. When the song reached #1 on the charts, she celebrated quietly, sitting alone on a broken-down tour bus, a stark contrast to the fame she had fought so hard for. This achievement validated her resilience, her instincts, and her refusal to compromise her artistic vision. Beyond the charts, the #1 hit signaled a broader shift. It proved that Reba could balance commercial appeal with authenticity. She was no longer just a talented singer from Oklahoma, she was a formidable force in country music. The success of "Can't Even Get the Blues" emboldened her to take further risks, including leaving Mercury Records to MCA, where she gained unprecedented freedom to select songs that reflected her true style. It marked the beginning of a new era. Reba McEntire wasn't just chasing success, she was defining it on her own terms, setting the stage for a legacy that would blend artistry, perseverance, and unyielding individuality. Reba's move to MCA Records in 1984 was a gamble that paid off spectacularly. Freed from the constraints of pop-influenced production, she recorded "My Kind of Country," an album that returned her to traditional roots while showcasing her evolving artistry. The album was a hit, establishing a blueprint for 1980s country music that blended classic sounds with contemporary energy. Between 1984 and 1987, she became a dominant force, 4 consecutive CMA Female Vocalist of the Year, multiple #1 singles, and a fan base that grew exponentially. Her polished style, theatrical performances, and carefully chosen songs demonstrated her understanding that music was as much about storytelling and emotion as it was about talent. Reba's transformation extended beyond sound. She shed the cowboy image in favor of sophisticated, glamorous presentation. Music videos, television appearances, and elaborate live shows showcased a new era of country entertainment, one where performance, personality, and stagecraft elevated her above contemporaries. Yet her rise was not without challenges. Industry politics, creative disputes, and the constant balancing act between personal life and professional ambition tested her at every turn. And yet, through every award, every performance, and every sold-out show, Reba's story became more than music. It became inspiration. Fans didn't just admire her voice, they connected with her journey, her struggles, and her triumph. Fame often comes with heartbreak. And for Reba, tragedy struck in 1991 when a plane carrying 7 of her band members and her tour manager crashed, killing everyone on board. Reba wasn't on that flight. She had stayed behind due to illness, but the loss left her devastated. The music she loved became both solace and therapy. Within 6 months, she released For My Broken Heart, an album that honored the lost lives while channeling her grief into artistry. The songs resonated deeply with fans, especially tracks like If I Had Only Known, which reflected the pain of unexpected loss. Her personal sorrow transformed into professional achievement, marking the album as a landmark in her career and solidifying her legacy as an artist who could transform life's most painful moments into universal stories of healing and resilience. This period also underscored Reba's dedication to authenticity. She refused to dilute her emotions for commercial appeal, instead allowing vulnerability to shape her music. In doing so, she connected with audiences on a profound level. For many, Reba's heartbreak became their own. Her courage in facing tragedy inspired a generation of fans to embrace both loss and hope. It was proof that true artistry is born not only from talent, but from the courage to endure, reflect, and transform life into song. In 1993, Reba shocked Nashville and the world alike by stepping onto the CMA Awards stage in a daring red gown. The dress, a vivid velvet creation with crystal embellishments, instantly became the talk of the nation. Media outlets couldn't stop covering it, and fans reacted with a mixture of awe and disbelief. This wasn't just a fashion statement, it was an announcement. Reba was no longer the good girl of country music. She was a fearless, unapologetic performer who understood the power of image, presence, and timing. The attention wasn't just superficial. Her music, too, was breaking boundaries. Songs that told bold, emotional stories showcased her evolving identity as a singer, willing to challenge norms while honoring roots. The gown, much like her music, sparked conversation about risk, courage, and authenticity. It illustrated Reba's willingness to step outside comfort zones, both personally and professionally. Critics debated it, fans celebrated it, and her industry peers took notice. By embracing bold choices in style and performance, she reinforced a larger message. Reba McEntire wasn't just a singer, she was a pioneer, shaping the culture of country music, proving that artistry could be daring, heartfelt, and unforgettable all at once. Reba's talents extended far beyond music. In 2001, she launched her hit sitcom, Reba, telling stories of family, resilience, and humor. Despite initial concerns about the show's themes, audiences embraced it, with millions tuning in weekly. Even while acting, Reba maintained her music career, releasing albums like Room to Breathe, which topped charts, and embarking on multi-million-dollar tours. Beyond entertainment, she ventured into fashion and retail, building a brand that spanned clothing lines, collaborations with Cracker Barrel, and the opening of Reba's Place, a restaurant and music venue in Oklahoma. Each venture reflected her strategic thinking, entrepreneurial spirit, and commitment to connecting with fans in new ways. Her influence wasn't confined to the stage. Reba used her platform to address important issues, from supporting LGBTQ+ rights to challenging sexism in country music. These stances often drew backlash, yet she remained unwavering, demonstrating integrity and courage. Her advocacy inspired both peers and fans, proving that an artist's role extends beyond performance into shaping culture, breaking barriers, and standing firmly for beliefs. Through music, television, business, and activism, Reba McEntire built a multi-dimensional legacy, cementing her place not just as a star, but as a cultural icon whose impact resonates far beyond Nashville's city limits. Reba McEntire's journey from a small-town girl with a microphone to a global icon is a testament to resilience, talent, and unwavering authenticity. She faced tragedy, heartbreak, and public scrutiny, yet transformed every challenge into a stepping stone towards greatness. From her first #1 hit to daring fashion choices, from television success to entrepreneurial ventures, Reba consistently proved that staying true to oneself is the ultimate path to enduring influence. Her story is more than biography, it is inspiration. Today, Reba's legacy is defined not only by her music, but by her courage, innovation, and willingness to challenge norms. Inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame and celebrated worldwide, she embodies the spirit of perseverance. Fans, artists, and industry peers continue to look to her as an example of what it means to rise above adversity, embrace authenticity, and leave an indelible mark on the world. Reba McEntire didn't just become a star, she became a symbol, a pioneer, and a rebel who redefined the very essence of country music. Her journey reminds us all, greatness is never given, it is earned, nurtured, and fiercely protected.